Flopping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. Yeah!
All right. We are back. What's up, yo? Flopping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. I'm Hessey. This is
Vinny.
Yep, you know it. So we're back. We were off a week. The holidays just kind of went that way. It was Thanksgiving, actually, bro. So here we are, first one back after the old day of Thanksgiving, and I guess eating too much is the way. We talked about it beforehand. We talked about the turkey. I had some comments that came in, and they broke down the word for us for what that was that caused you to be sleepy from eating too much turkey.
Gotcha.
Or not eating too much, I guess. I guess it has to do with how much or whatever that is. I don't remember what it is now. Triethylene or triethylene or whatever it was.
Gotcha.
She said she liked it. She was where she was going. The girl that commented about it was saying that she was going to use the way we said it because it sounded cooler.
Oh, good.
When they were going, she was going to adopt our
translation.
Our way of saying it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess I told her if you just I emailed back. I think it was an email, may have been a comment, and I was like, hey, if you just own it, they won't know that if it's wrong.
Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah. And
everybody's going for melatonin or something else, gluten or whatever.
Yeah, or like you, MSGS or something like that. Yeah. MSGs or whatever you say. So yeah. It's called tryptophan is what it is, but I think our trifodopane sounded cooler. It just sounds more like intense.
Yeah.
And so that's where that kind of went with that one, but that was cool. But yeah, so Thanksgiving, dude. So for the listeners, we generally, my family goes to where Vinny's at, and the rest of the family is. But we did not go this year for, I want to say, the better part of 12, 14 years, something like that we've been going to Utah.
Yeah.
It's straight. I mean, I don't know.
I know of this one and one other one, I think, that you didn't come. I think that's when you went to Wyoming, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was. Did that have to do with? I think that had to go with a medical issue. It was like
I think Tasha's dad or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of not planned for sure.
It's all right.
So yeah. So you guys did it off. So how did it go?
Yeah, we got up. We went over to Mom and Dad's at 9 because we were doing Thanksgiving at Brother Kevin's, and so we went over there at 9. We had some breakfast burritos and some biscuits.
9.
In the morning. 9 in the morning. So, and then from there, we had a few. I don't know, like Emily went, Addie went, Carly went, and then they went home. Carly went with us, but the rest of us guys went out to Poverty Flats and we shot skeet. Kevin hooked up
after breakfast?
Yeah, this is after breakfast. We got out there about 10, and Kevin set up the automatic launcher. Dude, that thing is so sweet. Just sets up on the ground. We set it up. We started shooting. We had 5 shooters at a time. So one guy would yell pull he would start on the left, and we'd fling it, and then he'd shoot at it, and then Kevin actually had paperwork to keep track. He was keeping track, kind of competition wise. So yeah, Dad sat in the chair and marked down everybody got it. If you went after it on your second shot, it still didn't count. One shot counted. Second shot was for fun. If anybody else wanted to shoot at the pigeon after the guy that was calling pull missed, it was just for fun. It didn't count as a hit on your score. It was only when you called pull. So yeah, after, 10, we went through like 2 rounds, like all 5 guys went, and then 5 guys went again, and then so I think it was the second one, we just decided that we'd put the guy that was on the far right, because he was closest to the thrower, he would move to the far left, so we'd all just rotate closer and closer. But so yeah, after the second round, Parker, son-in-law, and we were even, I believe. Brother Kevin was like 1 up, and then after that went through, I just kicked everybody's trash. Got it. Once I knew I couldn't miss and let Parker beat me, that's the only one I was like, can't let the son-in-law beat me. I gotta represent, and I didn't miss after that. So it was.
How'd your shotgun go? Is that the one you had to fix up?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's
or nothing.
It's still a little bit hard to pump, but I got it. I just know it's going to be a hard pump, so I just pump it. But other than that, no, it shot fine. It's got that screw in there holding the pump on because it's it's older. It's not quite set up like your shotgun or even Canon shotgun, but yeah, it worked great. I mean, you
won still.
Yeah,
so
and Cameron was out there shooting the 20 gauge. That 20 gauge was so loud. Oh my gosh, you could feel it in your chest. And Kevin goes, dude, yeah, get a 20 gauge for your little kid. I mean, I shot it a few times. We were just messing around after we were done kind of keeping score. I think it's a short barrel. I think it's not, I would say it's sawed off barrel, but it's not like right up against the pump stock, you know what I mean? So, but it is short. My goodness. I mean, you could just, it rattled.
So it's the shooting is still the same, like the kick, the recoil.
It feels like a 12 gauge.
Shorter barrel, so everything's just blasting out of it.
So loud.
So is it a semi-auto or is it a pump also?
No, that one's a pump. Yeah, he's got the semi-auto.
Whose is that?
I'm not sure if it was Kevin's. I think it's Kevin's. I think Kevin has that 20 gauge, yeah. But yeah, so that was we ran out of shells. We went through like 120 shells, and the only shells we had left were 20 gauges, and so yeah, we were 3-inch 20 gauge.
Auto? He got a semi-auto?
No, Canon's just got the
pump.
Is it called Stroker? Is that the brand?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Stoker or Stroker with an R?
Stoker.
Stoker. So he's got a black Stoker, yeah. And he's still shooting ducks and stuff with that thing. He's doing pretty good with that, but he didn't go out with it, so we didn't have him.
Is that the big one? Like it'll shoot a 3.5 inch? It's like the turkey special.
I don't know. I've never tried to get a 3.5, and I've never really looked to see if it does. All he puts in there are 3s.
Yeah.
And I found out mine takes 3s. I wasn't sure if mine did or didn't, but
it's usually that next one. I believe the next one, like when you go into like I don't know. I think they're called like turkey. With certain, yes, it depends on what you're shooting, like turkey. So like for geese, turkeys, those ones like will shoot a 3.5 inch mag, or mine will shoot a 3. That's what I shoot coyotes with, is 3.5 inch. I shoot a 3.5 inch double B high velocity.
Then I'm pretty sure Cannon's would, because his gun, it's black, but I'm pretty sure it's the same gun as yours. Yours is just camo.
Well, that's because it's the turkey special.
Yeah, his might be.
You have to look at it. It'll tell you in the paperwork. I don't think it says on the gun.
Oh,
but it'll tell you.
I got a pawn shop, so it's not. There's no paperwork. It's
no paper. Well, you could look it up.
I could look it up, the brand or the model number. Yeah. But then Cameron did pull out the slugs. He shot 12 gauge slugs.
Those are fun,
dude. So the car hood. We had that old car hood off of my old Saturn and stuff like that. We set it up, put some targets on it. I put some hand warmers on there so I could shoot my thermal during the day. Try to get the hand warmers to warm up. And so Cameron, we're down there, 75 yards. We ranged out the thing at 75, and he's like, "Do I aim high?" And Kevin's like, "No, dude, you just aim and shoot with a slug. It's not going to drop that much at 75 or whatever." And he barely got the top of the hood, like the very top edge. So when I went up there to look at some other stuff, I went up there, dude, that hole was freaking huge.
So he hit the top edge because he was aiming, he was pointing high.
He must have been aiming a little high. I mean,
dude, that's hard in a shotgun too.
It is.
You're looking just.
You
down
just
the
got
bead.
you just got a bead.
It's
that's
just a
it.
bead.
But he hit it. So he did hit the hood, and that hole.
Whack.
Dude, it's got to be an inch hole for that slug, dude.
Well, I mean, and that thing's shooting so slow. It shoots slower than subsonic. I mean, it is subsonic, but it's shooting slower than I bet it's going. Gosh, I don't even know if it's a 2 3/4 or 3-inch shell. You're probably only shooting at like 1,200 feet per second, 1,400 feet per second.
Okay.
So I mean, it's just like lobbing a softball down through the car hood, dude. It just
well, like, yeah, he said he didn't aim high, so I was kind of looking in the general, the big area of it, and then just as I don't know if I put my hand up there to like hold it and look around, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't there when I put this up here. That hole was not, and he barely clipped it.
He probably put that barrel on whatever you were shooting, so it was instead of the bead.
Right.
I don't know.
Right
now, so
but it was up there pretty
cool.
good.
So that's normally for list. That's what one of our turkey day, our
and
Thanksgiving thing is. We go out and shoot, bust out some tannerite, blow some stuff
got some
up.
of that.
We talked about it. We talked about that before the break, before the holiday, but we did not do any of that here.
We got Pictionary too that night.
We didn't do Pictionary. We watched football, which was cool. I didn't do a thing of cooking or anything. I just ate.
That's
I did
good.
eat some spicy pickles that one of the ladies from our church group had given me like 2 years ago, and I kept them. And McKaylee, my niece, loves Tasha's side of the family. Her niece, my niece, loves pickles to begin with. So I busted them out. They're like, she numbers them. The lady numbers them like 1 to 5, 5 being the hottest.
Oh, okay.
And so I had the 5s.
Nice.
But I had kept them. She jarred them. I think 2, possibly 3 years ago. But I think 2. So they sat there in the jar for 2 years. I mean, there's peppers.
So they went from 5 to 7.
There's peppers in them, like in there, and garlic, big garlic cloves, and onions, and they're bomb, dude. So we would cut them in half, and then she was eating them. And dude, the one we cut in half, she ate the bottom half, which seemed to be. I say the bottom half, it's where like the vine attached.
Yeah.
That end of it.
Yeah.
She ate that one, the second one, and was like, "Oh dear my, dude." She was drinking milk.
Yeah.
Trying to like get. I didn't think it was that bad, but I mean, she was like, "Wow." And so, shout out, dude, Brooke. Your pickles were bomb. So I'm trying to get some more from her. So we'll see how that goes. But so I found that there was a new way of a turkey.
Another one?
Right. So yeah. So I excuse me. I thought that my favorite was like.
Deep fried.
It comes down to turkey. Yeah, deep fried. I mean, you can't go wrong with a deep fried turkey. The thing just, it stays juicy. It takes a lot less time, right?
Yeah.
So Tasha's sister stayed here.
Excuse me.
Oof, there you go, man. That's Pacifico right there.
That's what that was.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm drinking from a can.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my mom. That's mom's favorite saying when she rips out a belch. It's because she drank from a can. I'm like, well, all right, sure. Anyway, so I hooked up the trailer. The older kids got to shack up in the trailer, so they dug that, and then we went over to Tasha's sister's house, Chas, and they did 3 turkeys. Ended up, her brother came into town, which he didn't think he'd be able to make it because he couldn't get off of work and stuff.
Right.
So he surprised
Nice.
Tasha and both Brittany, which is Tasha's little sister. So he was staying over at Chas's, and then when we showed up for Thanksgiving, he was there.
He was there.
So yeah, like I'm outside gathering up all this stuff, and I just hear screaming and stuff, and I was like, "What?" They were so excited, and then I come in and he was there, and they're doing hugs and all that stuff. So that was cool. So everybody was there except for Tasha's mom. She got sick, and
man.
Star didn't want to wait for her. That's Tasha's dad.
Okay.
So he was like, I ain't waiting for her. So I left.
Man.
No car with her sick. Dude. I mean, if she listens, I'm sorry you didn't make it. We did miss you, but
we had fun without you. No, just kidding.
yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. There was like the two of them were like always bickering at each other, dude. It's like constant. I love it, dude. I just
That's
sit
married
back and
life.
watch.
That's married
Oh
life.
man, it's dude. So it's like, I mean, there's just the two of them are banging. So she wasn't here, and so it didn't happen. Her dad was super chill and cool, so it was fun. But he made 3 turkeys. Did the one in like that roaster thing, like the
It's called a roaster.
put on the counter. Yeah, but so was this other one.
Okay.
So he also fire roasted one and deep fried it.
So fire
they make
roasted
this-
it and then
like
deep fried the same one?
No, deep fried one and then did a fire roaster. But dude, this thing is I think it's a Camp Chef. I'm sure there's other brands that make it, but his that he got was a Camp Chef. Dude, it's the best turkey I've had. You season it up or whatever, and it's like Dutch oven.
Okay.
Right? So it's this big bowl bottom. It's a 2-piece. It looks just like, and I'm showing it by hands on, you got to watch it on YouTube. Subscribe.
Like, comment.
Dude, it's like this big around, and it's made of cast, like a Dutch oven, but it's 2 pieces. It's half and half.
You're right.
And it has this cone inside of it it's vented. And so you just take the turkey, season it, and you shove it over this cone. And then you put the top on it, and then you set it on the fire. You can do it on the fire, or you can do it on like the same,
or do it on a Camp Chef. Yeah. Gotcha.
Propane flame,
right.
Just the little fire thing. Yeah. And so he did that for that one. And it took like an hour and some change, I think, hour and 15, 20 minutes or whatever.
Because it's cooking it from the inside, like it's getting it,
So it's getting both.
So it's cooking inside and out,
dude. So it just seals everything in. It's so moist, dude. Oh, it was so good. So that's my new favorite. So I'm buying one of those for sure. I took a picture of the box, and I'm like, oh, I'll get you one, dude. Tasha's gonna come home.
Dear Santa, I would like.
Yeah, I ain't even waiting that long. She's gonna be out of town and come home, and I'm gonna have like 5 of them just on the counter. And she's like, "What in the world?" I'm like, "I can make these in an hour and 15 minutes, like food prep for the week."
This one's barbecue.
Like
this one's lemon pepper.
Yeah, I'll just
this
try
one's
and
jalapeno.
Yeah, dude. You can stuff stuff up inside of them and cook it through it. Oh, dude, it's legit. Yeah.
So Parker did one that he has to like de-spine it. Like he breaks the spine, and then you lay it down like belly down, but you spread all the legs out. You just spread it out and you smash it down flat. So it's just laying on its stomach basically. Yeah. And then season it all up. You do all your stuff to it. You put it in the oven. It's 2 hours. So I don't know if it's the same thing where it's flat. It's cooking from the bottom and the top. Where when it's kind of all whole and round, it's gotta kind of cook from the outside and cook in. But yeah, he's smashing.
Well, how long do you generally have to cook it in the oven?
4.
Really?
We had to do ours. We did a 25-pounder, and we did it for 4 hours.
Wait, so I thought you went to Kevin's.
We did. Well, we were in charge of bringing the turkey.
Oh, that's a score right there.
Yeah.
So what did he do? Just took you guys out shooting?
Well, he actually had to. Yeah, I just went to go to Walmart on the way over there, and it's like Walmart was closed, so I didn't get the shells. I told Emily the night before, I'm like, oh, we need to go to Walmart and get shells. I'm like, nah. And I looked it up and said they were open, so I thought I'd just grab a couple boxes on my way, but they were closed. So Kevin's like, I got 100 rounds. So we just all went through basically all of Kevin's rounds. So, but no, they had all the sides. Salad, sweet potatoes. I mean, I think somebody brought the sweet potatoes, but I mean, they had a whole bunch of other stuff that they did, and Mom did some, and then Stacy's parents did some, and then everybody was in my family, Addison and Taylor and stuff. They were kind of like, I bet you there's Sam's Club pies. Yep. Mom brought in Sam's Club pies.
So, yeah, we had all homemade pies, which was cool. Mom and Tasha made cheesecake.
We had 4 cheesecakes.
How Grandpa makes them.
Yeah.
How Dad makes them. Yeah. But she did it gluten free.
Oh, nice. I had you made that the last time you were here. The gluten free cheesecake is delicious.
Dude, it's so good, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, like Alexa had her own. She made a regular one, and then Tasha made one for her, like her own little pan. I was smashing on her.
Dude,
it was so
I
good.
almost think that gluten-free stuff's better.
Yeah. Sometimes you run across it is. Like, I think the cheesecake one turned out to be better, and cornbread. So far, I like gluten-free
Did you have cornbread for Thanksgiving?
No.
Oh,
But
dude,
just saying.
I love cornbread.
We had it. I know, and you would love it. We made cornbread on Friday
Oh,
because
nice.
we made a big old thing of chili.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah, chili and that cornbread. Oh, dude, that cornbread, gluten-free cornbread's almost like cake, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. You make it cum.
Did you guys watch Christmas Vacation?
Well, Alexa had made prior when you were talking about pies. She made. She went over to Amber's house because they think that it's just terrible that Alexa doesn't know how to bake and that Tasha doesn't teach her how to bake because Tasha doesn't bake. So they're like, "Well, come over. We're going to show you." So, dude, Amber's the bomb, dude. So this is like Tasha's best friend.
Right.
So her husband's on the fire department. We got on at
Okay.
the same time. They own Fallon Ford here in town.
Right.
And so they went out to her house, and she had already made gluten-free lasagna so that Alexa could eat it for lunch since they were going to be out there baking. And then they went out there and made gluten-free apple pie. So they made gluten-free dough and all that stuff.
Right.
Strung it all out and pinched off the corners and made it all, across there. So the gluten-free pie, apple pie, it did not make it to Thanksgiving because they made it prior
Yeah.
and we ate it. So sorry nobody got to taste that
Just
one. But that wasn't.
Take your word for it, right?
Yeah, Chas was like, I want this pie or do this or we're gonna make it fresh or whatever it was that she was doing, which everything turned out like she did a stellar job. It was glory. But then so at that point it was like you can only have so much stuff to make in that time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean we ate late as shit as it was. Anyways, I don't even think we ate till like 5:30, 6 o'clock. I was starving. I probably ate.
Were there like
4
snacks?
pounds.
Didn't
Yeah, they weren't even gonna do snacks.
Oh,
They were like,
shoot.
so Tasha's like, well, you want me to bring some stuff? Oh, we don't do snacks. And so Tasha asked her like, do you do Thanksgiving every year? And she's like, oh no, we usually go over to Tim and Mickey's. She's like, I haven't done it for years. And she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna bring it. So Tasha.
Well,
made
are
a
there
charcuterie
snacks at
board.
Tim and Mickey's?
I don't know. She didn't say, but she wasn't doing them at hers. And so I was like, man.
You
so
gotta get crackers,
wasn't-
cheese ball,
Yeah.
freaking
So
broccoli.
Tasha made like brala stuff. Did a whole charcuterie board,
Yeah.
like across the whole bar right there. That thing was gone in 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Cleaned out. They had to go get more crackers and stuff out of the pantry that Chas had. Pickles gone. Everything it was gone. She bought like,
Olives,
goat
cheese,
and all that
crackers,
stuff.
freaking summer sausage.
So this leads me into this Tasha dying story.
Oh.
So she had cream cheese, then she had goat cheese, 2 times of goat cheese, which, dude, goat cheese is good, man. I did not think it was gonna be. I like it, so I'm sorry. You should try it, dude.
Why are you
Like,
saying sorry? I didn't say anything.
dude? But I'm just saying because I'm like goat cheese, dude. Like get the soft goat cheese. It's like
I've had
cream
goat cheese.
Oh, okay, dude. What kind?
I have no
Did you
idea.
get the flavored? There's like a flavored one too.
It was just
Tasha knows
it,
one.
it was homemade, so it was just kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was like a curd. I think it was almost like a goat cheese curd, like squeaky cheese. You know, that's called curd. So they were just
Mhm.
little chunks of cheese. It was, yeah. I mean, it's a little different texture. You know, it leaves a little in your mouth, but
Ooh, okay, yeah. Wow.
but it was fine. Like it wasn't anything.
Yeah, this is not chunky or like that. It's just like cream cheese is what it's like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
done up like.
Gotcha.
So then Mom makes that. She made that last batch and it was the jalapeno.
The jalapeno
Habanero.
jelly.
The habanero and jalapeno jelly.
Yeah.
So it's double whammy.
Yeah.
So we put that in there in the bowl next to it, so you could go with the goat cheese and hit that habanero jalapeno jelly, and hit it with. And so yeah, so Tasha goes over there. First cracker, she hits it, dips in there, hits that jelly, takes a bite of it, and she's a sissy when it comes to hot. So she starts hacking and coughing, and she goes into her panic cough, where
Okay.
she's like can't breathe type thing. She doesn't think she's breathing. So she's hacking and coughing and just drooling and like freaking out coming into the, and she's like, "Yeah, I get water," and I'm like, "Cover your mouth," because she's just, ugh. And dude, she's over at the faucet, has the faucet on, and is flinging water up from the faucet, like, and she's just mad at everyone. And I'm trying to look for a cup. Because she's, clearly you need some water. I get it. You said it, like, as you're hacking and coughing. So I find, I don't know where anything is at. It's not my kitchen, you know. Right. So I find the water and a cup, and I give, and she's over at the water thing. She's got it on, and she's like trying to fill her hand up, throwing it in her face and her mouth. Dude, she turns around and she goes, and I'm like, we're laughing. Like, it's also, sorry. And she's like, oh my, and she goes, you guys, she don't cuss. She turns around, you guys, and she's like, eyes watering. And she's like, you guys are shitty people. You're letting me die. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, you weren't dying. If you're coughing, you're still breathing. But yeah, dude, she was freaked, dude. Oh man. God,
doesn't she know that if you just turn your head, you can drink right out of the faucet?
She's just flinging it up, dude. Just water splattering all over the place. Jesus.
Remember when you were a kid and you just turn on the faucet, tilt your head sideways?
Oh yeah, dude. I do it still now. So I'll just hold my hand right there and like let it pool up, and I can drink out of it.
Right, you hold your hand in the cup.
Just hold underneath.
Let it fill up your hand, and you're sucking out of the bottom of your hand.
Yeah,
right?
dude. Like just like livestock or something. Like a
it's continuous water right down your throat.
Because if you put it underneath the aerator, you get air and makes it burp.
Yeah, that's
so you just let it fill up into your hand, and you got her nailed. But yeah, so that was.
Well, I'm glad she's alive. I'm glad
she
she's
lived,
alive.
everybody.
She lived.
So she's still alive. Yeah, I didn't collect life insurance on that one. But I told you she tried to kill me.
No.
Oh, this happened after our last one, man. So, this gets good, dude. Same time frame, right? Like the day before. It was like a Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday morning.
Before Thanksgiving?
Before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because I think I had it off, right? Yes. I had it off. So we get up in the morning and all this stuff. So she's been reading up on all, like, remember we talked about like inflammatories and stuff like that. Like Coffee Mate has some sort of chemical, whatever they make their stuff with, it causes inflammation.
Correct.
So she's like, you need to start going to the nut pods. Like that's a brand of creamer. It's like an all natural creamer.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, just try it. I'll make it up for you.
Put some nuts in your mouth. You like it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if it's going to take the inflammation down, let's do it. So, nut pods. Okay.
Pods. Okay.
Yeah. So, she says, I got these different ones. She's got this little frother thing that you put like your creamer in, hit the button, and it heats it up, and you pour it on your coffee, and it makes it all fancy.
Okay.
Or like you can do designs in it or whatever.
Okay.
So she's been going on about it, and I just dump it in there first, and then pour my coffee in there.
Yeah.
Like my coffee, man, I'm pretty simple. So I do the sugar-free, fat-free, whatever. So she does this fancy thing, beep beep. It's all does its frothing. She brings it in there, and she's like, "Here it is." And I was like, "All right." And I take a drink, and I was like, "Damn, this shit is good." I was like,
"Is it still the nut pod, or is she? Yeah, is it the Coffee Mate?"
No, she did the nut pod.
Okay.
But going through that blender and it like frothing it up and pouring it, so like when you drink it and it like the coffee goes through that frothy stuff. Dude, all right. It's good, man. I felt fancy as shit. My finger was all my pinky was out. Just automatically, while taking a drink, and my pinky just went out. I was like, "What?"
And then you're like, "Hey, do we have any Grey Poupon?"
Yeah, dude. I was like, I went and put my slacks on and a button up. Dude, my beard just fell off. All of a sudden, I was clean shaven, just like that. It was fine, dude. So
now do you use it every day?
No, hell no. I almost died because in like 6 minutes.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because then all of a sudden I'm like, man, my throat. Like, and then like I started itching on my shoulder and my neck, And I'm like, man, babe. I'm like, man, my throat. And they're like, oh, and here's.
And
Tasha
she's like,
and
oh
Alexa.
my gosh, you're so dramatic.
Yeah, dude, Tasha and Alexa both. Dad, come on. I'm like, I can't breathe. So I'm like, man, my head itches. So I'm like itching my head. Then I'm like, man, my chest right here, my arm right here.
Yeah.
I picked my shirt up, dude. I got hives down my neck,
Oh,
right there, in my
man.
chest, and I'm like, and they're like, what is wrong? I go,
You're
what?
sticking your finger in your ear, trying
Yeah.
to scratch it.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I'm like, what is going on here? And I says, what did we do? I didn't do something different. And then I was like, I don't even know. And so I didn't eat anything different, like my normal protein and
Right.
carbs and stuff in the morning. But I was like, man, I'll get that nut pot out and look at it. So I started reading the ingredient, and it's got coconut cream in it.
Okay.
I'm allergic to coconut. And
Well.
so I look at it, and I'm like, this has got coconut cream in it. As I'm trying to read through it, my chest is just like blasting out now. I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's all red with like white bumps.
Oh man.
So I told Tasha, I go, babe, this got coconut cream in it. She's like, got what? Oh yeah. And I'm like, look at this. And I got a rash, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're allergic to coconut? I go, I've been telling you that for 15 years. And she's like, dude. And she's like, I just thought you were being dramatic because you didn't like coconut. Dude,
Right.
I'm like, what? I'm like, this whole time, you think that I have not been allergic to coconut? Dude, the whole time we've been married, she just thought it was like a fluke. Like that I was just saying.
like you were just like, because you didn't like it. Right.
No, I told her I was allergic to it.
No, right. But she was like, oh, it's just because you don't
tried to
like it,
kill
you're
me.
going to say you're.
Yeah. Started
Did you
killing me,
check
dude.
to see when your life insurance got updated?
Yeah, I know. Well, she's been watching this investigation thing. She's been on that trial. You've seen that dude that wife was on trial for poisoning her husband in his Moscow
No.
mules.
No.
Yeah, she's been it's live. She's been watching like the live ones, like watching the court. So she's like, "Oh man," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this lady was putting opioid what's that one that all the Mexicans are hauling across the border?
Fentanyl?
Yeah.
Yeah, fentanyl.
So she was putting it in his Moscow mules.
Oh,
Putting it in his
perfect.
Moscow mule, and then he died. So, but she's saying he's been on it all this time. I don't know the whole story. Tasha could tell you, but it's something to do like she's saying it wasn't her because he had already been doing it. Like he was a
Yeah, it
drug
was already
addict.
mixed
of
up in
that.
his cocaine.
He was already making. Yeah, he was making his own stuff anyways. So, anyways, so I'm like, oh, here it is. Look, you've been watching this. This lady goes and kills her husband with fentanyl in
And you're
Moscow
sneaking-
mules, and here you are. You're killing me with nut pod creamer in my coffee. Nobody would suspect it, so it's out there now. And
It's
so if
out
I
there now.
die,
It's public.
there
Check
it
for
is,
coconut
Tasha.
coconut in your
Checking
system.
in my coffee, man. Dude. Oh man, I just couldn't. It blew my mind to think. I'm like, this whole time you've been thinking that it wasn't real, but I guess there's some that don't. But dude, it was crazy. I was like, holy moly.
Dang.
Yeah. So careful if you're allergic to coconut. But I've had like coconut oil. I think it's like a small amount because I've seen it in stuff before. You know what I mean? That I've had, and I've never had it. But that one, it says coconut cream. So I don't know if it's like a different way they extract it or if they.
It's probably a
'Cause I
higher
know-
concentrate.
Right. I know I can't eat like the shavings.
Yeah, no.
Like I've had the shavings of coconut, and yeah, my whole back went into a full-on hives back, my neck, like it was bad, and that was with the coconut shavings. But yeah, so that was Tasha trying to kill me.
Nice. See, that's
Then we
like
went hunting, so boom, that worked out. That made it better.
you made
I
it
did
better.
I did go do some thermal with Tasha's little sister Brittany, her
Yeah.
boy, and I went out thermal hunting Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. And so it was a little cold. He didn't have anything, so I gave him a bunch of stuff that I had, and then
Yeah.
he took my Under Armour base layer bottoms back to Wyoming with him.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, because I got up that morning and I was like, he had left like the top layer stuff
Yeah.
on the chair.
Yeah.
So I went out to the trailer to clean up, pull all the bedding off to wash it, and was like, there was like the beanie and some gloves and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. He just had them sitting there. Well, he must have forgot to pull the bottoms off.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure that's what he did.
so I'm getting new ones.
He's coyote hunting in Wyoming right now.
Yeah, he'd never been hunting.
No, I know.
Nothing.
That's what he said.
We ripped, dude. I've never seen so many coyotes in a night. In hours, in an hour, a few hour window. We probably saw 8 coyotes. I'm going to get shots on them and stuff because they were ways away. But where we were at was a freaking money hole, dude. It was a honey pot.
Now, for all the listeners out there, I know you're probably thinking, like it's a whole fish story, like when somebody says, "Oh, I caught a fish this big," whatever, and it's like, yeah, really, prove it. I have videos from his thermal that shows 4, 5, so different locations. So I will contest that he did see that many coyotes.
It's not a fish story. I only got shot on one. Well, I shot at 2 different ones. I shot at one, missed, and another one picked up and started running across closer, so I slung one at that. Not thinking, but that was like the second time that Braden was like, yeah, let's shoot that one. Yeah. Let's shoot. He just wanted me to rip a round off,
Yeah,
So
you can't just sit out there. It's like,
it's fun.
If you see him, try to shoot it, right? Yeah.
Right, he's watching it on the phone, and he's just like, I'm like, you see that one? He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gonna shoot at that one? I'm like, that's a little far. Oh, you gonna shoot at that one? I'm like, yeah, let's shoot that one. So, yeah, rip that big old AR-10 out.
But you said you went out with him, and you saw a few that night on the pivots out there in the fields with all the sprinklers and stuff, and then after that he was like, let's go again. Like he was just ready to go. He was ready to go.
We went for the day and we got a few to bark and howl, and then we picked one up coming across.
Yeah, it's addictive. You took me out the first time, and I'm like, whatever. We shot one, but then I've done it ever since. Can't get enough of it, whether you shoot or not.
I just love being out there, dude. It's just peaceful. It's quiet, especially at night, dude. When you go out there at night, you're just standing there, and it's just like everything. There's so many different things that come from the day to the night. Sounds are different. The air. It's there's usually no wind, there's no breeze, it's just stale, it's quiet, everything carries further, so it's like you can just sit there and you're just in God's country, dude, and it's just it's just peaceful. You're by yourself. Then like the owls are flying in, so I'm like thermaling big old owls swooping around. They're so quiet too. Owls are rad, but some of them would sit up on like the irrigation from the pivots, and it looks like a coyote. Like as you pick it up in the thermal, because you're looking, it's in the air because it's on those big pivot water sprinklers. Yeah. But it's just standing there. And so when you hit it and that rolling hill comes down and it looks like there's something on the standing in the field.
Top of the hill. Yeah.
And but then as you kind of, with it being a little closer, you're like, oh, that ain't big enough. They're just smaller. But yeah.
I talked to a guy, I think it was Friday after Thanksgiving. I was doing some plumbing for Emily's uncle, and I had to call to get some gas. It was a gas fireplace. I took a blower out of a gas fireplace that was made in like 1988. So he gave me some phone numbers to call around and try to find these motors and stuff for this gas fireplace. And the company I called, the guy was in Wisconsin, and I said something about going coyote hunting or something. He goes, oh yeah, we're getting ready to go soon. And I says, well, where are you at? And he's like, Wisconsin. I'm like, yeah, over in Wisconsin. I've seen videos of, on YouTube and stuff where they come in 3, 4 at a time. He goes, dude, they come in 4s all the time. He's like, it's just 4s. He's like 4s, 5s. He says, if you get 3, that's a small pack. And I'm like, he goes, yeah, we're going to be going out in a couple weeks as soon as it gets colder. And I'm like, man.
Dude, it's just like this. So that's private property that we were on. And this is what we've talked about before.
Oh, yeah.
Once they're in like that area, they're not pressured, they're not pushed. There's boundary lines all over, it has to do with man-made stuff, fencing.
Right.
So it's all fenced up to like the river. And then you have these pivots, which when we say pivots, it's like a field for
farmers.
Farming field. But when we say, so for the listeners, even in the U.S., especially like the ones overseas, it's like a big alfalfa field, but it's circle. Because the irrigation thing is these big wheels and it's these big sprinklers that go from like small tractor tires, right? And that thing just goes in a circle. It pivots around. So that's why they call them a pivot. So these big round pivots that are out there, there's hundreds of acres worth of them. And so that's when we were out there calling. They didn't even care. Like, they would perk up and see and hear me distress calling, and then they would just carry on doing what they're doing. You know, and they're not paired up. It's not like they're, you know, usually if we're like where you and I hunt,
Right.
you're looking, it's mainly singles, and you might get a double depending on the season, if it's coming into mating season or shortly after, or it's like, you know, you might get some siblings or something together, but it's random. You see all the time, you know, like that one, like I'd see 2 coyotes there, I'm panning across, there's 2 more, there's 3, you know, and they're just all hanging out within a couple hundred yards from each other.
Right.
And I think it just has to do with that. Like that guy in Wisconsin, it's probably like a ton of those places like that are privately owned.
Right.
So all those things get to just live on there with each other.
Yeah, it's like a little safe
Don't care.
haven. They just like hang out.
There's tons of food. There's water. They're like, meh, whatever. Oh, there's another one. Who cares? You know, like it's plenty. So that'd be cool. That'd be fun. I mean, like that, I'm definitely going again. I wish you could just cruise on down here so we could go do that one. Because literally, I think I'm just gonna like walk another couple hundred yards and set up, and then just thermal and look, see, find them again, walk another 100 yards, just walk closer.
Right. Like
Yeah,
if they're
'cause
not
they don't-
running away.
They don't
Right.
care. They're just like, it's
Right.
nighttime. They don't even expect you to know that they're out there.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool. But and then, well, moving past, unless you got hunting stuff,
No.
dude, I sent our stuff in for Amazing Grace. So our
Grace.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace.
I was gonna say, pray for us and
Pray for us on
and,
Amazing Grace.
praising us for Amazing Grace. Oh, something like that.
Yeah, you turned in our application, our video application, and all that stuff. Yeah.
I was a little stressed because I took you sent me that video with you delivering packages and hollering about Amazing Race,
Right.
And then I did mine, and then I edited those together, and then I sent the one in of us two talking about
Right.
Amazing Race, this one, and then it told me it was too big.
Too
and I was
big.
like, what? And I kept it like 3:08, I think was the time.
3
I
minutes,
wanna
8
say.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. But I added in some music and different stuff like that. And so I tried it like 3 times. And it tells you when you're filling out that application. And then you were hunting. No, what were you doing? Yeah. You ended up going hunting ducks. You were hunting birds when I was filling out the
Oh,
application.
yeah.
Because I was texting you. Because once I started, it says you can't
Right, you can't stop.
stop. And so I was like, it was all
I mean, you
asking
can
me all
stop,
this.
but then you got to start over the next time
Yeah,
you get
but
in
it's
it.
like page is
Right.
in, and then I get to this one where you have to like write a little, I don't know even what they call it now, I forget, but it's like just like a little about yourself type
little
thing.
summary about yourself.
Yeah, and then so I'm like, oh cool, I'll write it about us because it's a team. So I hit yours all up, and then I go start putting mine in, and I get like a sentence, and it's all and just stops because it only allows so many letters.
Oh,
There's like
okay.
But it doesn't count. It doesn't count it down for you. It just stops. The little cursors just stop. And I'm like, so I had to go through. I got a little paragraph, and I had to go through and erase it
Erase
all,
all that.
and then shorten everything up, and then do it. And then once you do it as the team, then you go in the next page and you put all your information, like your address and all that stuff, which I couldn't remember your address. So thank you, Onyx. Like you nailed it. Shout out.
Nice.
So I went on Onyx and looked up your
Found my
house.
house.
I just zoomed around and like I knew generally like where your street was to get to it,
Right.
and I just zoomed in and saw the owner, and saw Emily's name on there. Clicked on it, and then it gives me your address.
Oh,
And I was like,
nice.
yes,
Perfect.
because I paid for those
Onyx.
2 states. Remember when
Right.
we were coming for the elk hunt? So I bought Utah. I paid for Nevada and Utah.
Nice.
So, anyway, so I got that information. That's why I was like, I had already texted you what yours was, and you didn't answer. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to. Like, I don't got time to wait, especially because I'm like, if he's hunting, he probably don't even have his phone, or especially if you're in the water or whatever. So, finish that out, and I go to send the video in. So you do everything,
yeah.
and then I take the video which I'm trying to figure out how to get it to move over from there to there. And I download, I save it, and I send it, and it's like too big. And I'm like, what in the world? So then I send another one down. I try to I'm trying to make it smaller. Then I'm like, maybe, because then it sends me a thing, like a notification that says like, if you're trying it if you're in high definition or whatever, or it says something about like the quality.
High def quality.
And I was like, oh man. So, because you can do 4K high def, 720, 480 or whatever.
Right.
So it worked out. I didn't have to cut it. Long story short, I didn't have to cut it. The video.
Just make it crapper quality and send it in.
Yeah, just turn it look like video on a flip phone.
We're all pixelated, and they're like, I can't even see what you look like. We're like, yeah, because
good thing
I
sent some still shot pictures of us, some photos. So, not that that's going to help us out any. I don't know. But yeah,
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
That's terrible. Wait, who's the other? Is that the Steelers?
Yes.
Oh my dude, that busted your ticket.
That busted my ticket. Gosh,
was that the final?
That's the final.
Dude, the guy on one of our pick'ems picked the Cardinals. One dude. Everybody else picked the Steelers, and he
They're
picked
2-10.
He
2-10.
He just moved into the lead.
Good night,
dude. I'm quitting betting. I told Braxton this already. So this is terrible. So.
Sorry, I didn't cut off our Amazing Race story, but I just
no,
looked
it's
it
done.
up.
I sent it off, so we'll just wait back.
Hey, if you guys can send emails or comments, or if you guys know anybody on the Amazing Race team that's picking some people, like put in a good word for us. That'd be great.
Yeah. Or everybody that listens to Flapping Your Gums, just email Amazing Race and say, hey, put the guys on from Flapping Your Gums.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's try that.
That'd be awesome to see if anything happened with that.
I changed my voicemail on my phone so it says to check out Flapping Your Gums.
Yeah.
So Braxton called me. and I didn't answer because I was working, so it went to voicemail. And then when I did answer, like finally when he called me again, he's like, that is the dumbest voicemail. Da, da, da. He's like, you're so dumb. I was like, thanks, dude. And then he just calls it how it is, I guess.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, I jumped out. I think we got like 600 downloads from that.
From your voicemail?
No, but dude, just think all the telemarketers they call me. They're gonna have to. It's because I tried to make it go like, hey, so it would just pick that up. So maybe we'll start getting some from like India or wherever. You know, they got like all them call centers over there.
Right.
And also we'll start picking up ground over there. But yeah, so yeah, the betting. Dude, I put some college ones in, and then what happens? Oregon.
Yeah.
Like
what
the number one seed's supposed to win or whatever, goes and loses. Perfect. So that ticket's out. I'm like, well, that sucks. Da, da, da. So I get up in the morning, Saturday morning, to go to the gym, and what do?
What?
I stop by the sports bar and go put another bet on.
Another one.
This is terrible. Braxton's like, no, don't do it, bro, because I sent him a picture of me down at this betting. He's like, dude, you want me to find that number? That
1-800 freaking quick gambling number.
Stop gambling.
Stop gambling.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need it. So I put another bet in, which was cool. Like I went to the gym, then I came home, and I actually set it up on the projector out in the garage on the big one, hooked it up to the speaker.
Okay.
I had the door open in the garage because I was doing putting up Christmas stuff.
Okay.
And so I had the speaker rotate out and had the games on, and so I was watching all.
Did you have it like set up where there's like multiple games on each one, or is it just one game at a time?
No,
so
I had 4 of them.
So what do you do that one on? Is that on NFL? On the NFL Network?
No, so YouTube TV now has a setting.
Oh gosh, another freaking subscription. Jeez.
Yeah, that you can do.
My gosh.
It never ends, bro.
It doesn't, dude.
But on YouTube TV, you can go in and like pick which games you want to watch, and you can do a quad square.
Okay.
And it'll put 4 of the games up on your one screen, one TV screen. So I had 4 of them up, and that project I got out there in the garage.
Right.
Was
Right, you got 60. You got 60 inch. You got 4 60 inch TVs
yeah.
there.
And then it's hooked up to the what they call it's the boombox deals.
Yes.
The Irons or whatever.
The on Bluetooth speakers. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the bump box or rocker box, I think it's called.
Okay. Like
From
the ones you have at the
2 feet.
gym. Just
Yeah. So you Bluetooth it to it, and then it's like cranking. So I'm out there doing Christmas stuff, and just got all the games on.
He's at the 30, the 20, the 10.
Cool. Yeah.
Touchdown, Michigan.
Fun. So I could hear it, and then I'd like look in there and watch it. So I was like, yeah, it was super cool. It was fun. And then I lost that ticket too. And so
the Titans killed my. So Oregon killed the one ticket for me. Yeah, and I was just like, forget it, I'm out.
I think it probably did it for millions of people.
Yeah. And then today, the Titans did my over-under. I'm like, we'll just do Titans and Colts. It'll be under 42 and a half. Like, and I was like, I looked at it on my phone because I've been running around today just kind of doing stuff. We went to the gym, I went down at 10, turned on the sauna. Emily's been having she has this cough. Like, she doesn't have any congestion. Like, she's not sick, no fever. She just has this cough consistently. And so I went and turned the sauna on, and then 11 o'clock we went down there and got in the sauna for 20 minutes. And so I'm just checking the game. I'm like, 25-25? Like, are you kidding me? I hate the
shower after the sauna.
Yeah, cold.
Dude, I told Todd, this is what I was telling you about with the Colts and the Titans. I told you it was always close. It went into overtime.
Well, I knew it would be close, but I thought it'd be like
I didn't
low.
think they'd be scoring like that. I mean, Derrick Henry, he got hurt. He was out. One of their linemen was out. I mean, they still held it out. But, dude, I wouldn't bet on them, dude. I'm a Titans fan, but I ain't betting for them. They're terrible.
I mean, it's great.
Sorry, you guys suck.
But
I'm still your fan. I'm still a Titans guy. I had to wait till this because I told Tasha I'm going to put my Titans stuff on.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I got to wait till after halftime so I don't look like a douche sitting here in all my Titans stuff. And they're like, bro, they lost. And I'm like, shit.
I know. And then is Mike gonna wear his Steelers hat?
They lost.
I know.
Because they lost. You don't ever wear them because they lost. Yeah.
So does he wear it does he wear it on Friday before the game, and then he won't wear it on Monday?
Nope. He only wears it if they win right after.
Man, that hat's got to be nice and clean.
It's old, dude. It's like a national championship hat that they got from like '87,
1966. Oh, sorry.
Dude, it's from it's old. It's a terrible looking hat too, but it's a like an old school hat. It's cool that he has it and that he wears it. But
well, we went to the Raiders Chiefs game last week.
Yeah, you went.
We were down in Vegas.
Sunday.
We went down there. We tried to do that whole little. I mean, it's not anything that I'm giving away any secrets on our YouTube
sure
or our
thousands of people try it.
podcast. But we got there. We walked up to the gate with 8 minutes before the game starts. You wait till the game starts. You get on StubHub. Tickets drop immediately after kickoff. I mean, you can hear inside. You know, for the kickoff, you're looking at your watch. You're like, all right, it's kickoff. Parker had he had it on NFL Network on his phone, and did you get a good one there?
No, and I'll tell you why. We'll talk about that after.
So we're watching the tickets drop. We're watching them drop. You know, we're kind of working on a budget. You know, I mean, we're trying to do it. So we get 5 minutes into the game, and it's like, oh, dude, $205. Tickets for $205 for 3 of us. I'm like, you know, $205 each. That's with, you know, you make sure you turn on your including fees and stuff. So I click on it. I start, and you have to type, is this a gift? No. Are you a Chiefs or Raiders fan? Chiefs. You're like trying to click everything as fast as you can, and then you get to the point, and it's like, oh, these tickets are no longer available. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Why are they asking what fan you are? Is that because they're going to give you a certain section or what?
I don't know. It won't give you. No, this is after you've already picked the tickets. I think it's just so StubHub has like basically kind of personal information, like what you're going for. So basically, if everybody's going Chiefs fans, and they know they can jack the price up on Chiefs tickets, I don't know. You know, it's just. I think it's like that kind of gives them their algorithm on that kind of deal. But so we get back out, we go look at tickets again. They're back up to $372. I'm like, oh. So we're waiting. We get 3 minutes left in the first quarter. We find some tickets that are in the, what do they call it, the black hole. So it's down on the lower level.
Side. Yeah.
26th row in the middle of the end zone. Click on it, and I use all my email information for my StubHub, information. The credit card that I'm using is connected to my wife's email. We buy the tickets. 8 minutes go by, no email on my tickets. I go to the box office, and they're like, let me see your ID. Let me see if sometimes StubHub takes a minute to get the names transferred over from the original buyer. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm refreshing my email, and we're standing out front. We've been there. It's now starting the second quarter, and 35 minutes go by, and I'm like, I don't have anything. So I look up StubHub's number. I call him. The guy tells me, he goes, it's going to cancel if it takes this long. I'm like, why is it going to cancel? He goes, sometimes the address doesn't match the credit card, or sometimes the emails don't match. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I tell him I used my email, the card's connected to my wife's email. He goes, yeah, it's going to cancel. I'm like, he goes, you're going to have to buy some more. He goes, I would get you tickets right now if I could do it over the phone. He's like, but I can't. And I'm like, you sure I'm not going to buy 6 tickets when I only need 3? He goes, no, and I couldn't tell if he said, I'm going to cancel it, because the PA outside's just repeating the same, hey, go to Raiders.com and pick up your tickets and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. So I get off. So now we're pretty close to 40 minutes at this point, and I get the exact same tickets, and we had gotten them for $220 or $270 30 minutes ago.
256. I think 256 is what you sent to me.
Is that what I sent to you?
Yeah, 256.
Okay. So 256, and then after all this goes through and everything, so 40 minutes later, I get the exact same tickets, same spot, everything's the same, and they're down to $197. But
so basically as the game goes on, the
tickets go down. Yeah. So then I hurry and do that, but now I went and talked to the guys that scan your tickets, and I says, look, this is what's happening, but it's going to go to my wife. And the guy says he'll just have your wife forward you the email. He goes, and you'll have them on your phone. I says, okay, that's going to, because they don't do a screenshot. Like, there's a little bar that moves back and forth across it, so it's got to be like a live ticket. I don't know. So they get it to Emily. She gets it to me. So by the time we bought the new tickets at $197, by the time they sent them to her, got them to me, 5 minutes instead of 40 minutes.
So we lost the whole quarter.
So we didn't get in until the third quarter. It was 6 minutes left in the third quarter. We get in there. We watch it. We rush to our seats. We stop and grab water, and Dax got a soda, and we went to our seat. And I had to pee. We've been standing outside for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And it was getting cold.
Time for that. You got to hold it.
Exactly. I'm like, I'll just hold it.
Yeah.
So we get in there, we watch it, and the Chiefs win, and then we're done. And I'm just like $600, dude. That was for
$600 for
21 minutes of a quarter and a half.
Thanks a lot, Vegas.
Oh, man.
Suckers.
So while we were driving from St. George to Vegas, the Titans game started.
Yeah.
And Parker was sitting in there. But he was looking up their tickets, kind of doing the same thing. Their game had already started. They were 5 minutes into the first quarter. Yeah. Tickets, even if they were the highest tickets, they were the cheapest tickets there, with the taxes and fees and stuff like that, $11.
Yeah.
For 3 in a row. It would have cost, like, if you were in Tennessee and the game started and you just happened to be there and you're like, oh, let's go watch a game.
Let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude.
Thanks a lot, Vegas. Again.
Vegas is terrible.
Suck.
Well, Vegas is that way because everybody can fly into Vegas cheap. You get there day before. You just
get a bunch of people from California and stuff too, because
Vegas is a pretty good area for everybody to go to.
Oh,
you can fly in, fly out. Sure. Plus, you're going to spend a couple days there hanging out, enjoying Vegas, stuff like that. So it's hard. I mean, you can drive 8 hours to Denver.
It's expensive. Dude, yeah, you can do that too. But, I mean, the Broncos were on a 5-game winning streak till today.
Oh, dude, today's game was a little rough.
It was a game, though.
They came back.
But, dude, that rookie on Texans, way to go, bud. Way to go. Way to stick it out. No, you were saying when I was picking my nose, dude, I don't get boogers because I went and got my nose waxed.
Oh, shit. You see, that just causes you not to get boogers? So because it all doesn't catch in your hairs.
I feel like I need to get a booger, but it's clean. There ain't nothing there. Dang, dude. So the other night, we had planned. Tasha, I mean, we're dudes. We get nose hair. Like, I don't know if there's like a dude that doesn't get nose hair.
I agree.
Even like the ones I know, guys that don't even have chest hair. You know, what I mean? They're grown men, I think, and they don't even have chest hair. And then like
Little Kev, do you have nose hair? No, I'm just kidding.
They get some. Like I got Sweeney has like 7 hairs right here throughout.
He's got the ring around the nipples.
No, not even that. No, he just has a few up here that are like, I'll see him like, dude, look, you're becoming a man, and he's like 32 years old. So, anyways, but like we all have them. It's a nose hair thing, but I always trim them. So then it's like, you know, it's like that pokey. When you trim them down, they're stubbly, and so then they're pokey in your nose. So like if you like burl your nose and go to wipe it, poke. So I was like, hey babe, you want to set me up with like a waxing, like a nose waxing? And she's like, yeah, I could do that. So I was all prepped and ready for it, and then she canceled and said, hey, it was supposed to be on a Monday, and she's like, no, I can't get him until Wednesday. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. So then I'm thinking to myself, well, I should probably not trim these. I'm going to let them grow. So I was like, okay. Which is good because she told me, yeah, don't trim them down. Like she wants them longer. So I was like, cool. So Wednesday hit. I hit the gym. I head down there. And she's like, oh, so is this, you know, you getting your nose waxed? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm like, and she's like, oh, is this you've done this before? I go, nope, first time. She's like, oh, gosh. So she explains it all to me.
She was excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was excited, all right. And I was like, I didn't know like if I should shave them or what. She's like, no, don't shave them. I want them, you know, you
longer the better.
So when you and I had talked about the waxing, right?
Yeah.
And you had talked about how you had done yours the first time with like the bikini wax.
I think so, yes.
Right. So when we had talked about that, she showed me it afterwards because I had then talked about it. So I was like, hey, you know, and she's like, okay, this is what you do. So I wanted to video it so I could put it on the podcast, but you can't. She has you put this little cloth like strip and you have to hold it because it covers your mustache. So the strip covers my mustache because then she gets the wax and shoves it in your nose. Now that's the worst part, I feel like, at first.
Because it's hot.
So I thought that was the worst part. I should say it that way. So she's like, shoves it up in there, and it's like, whoa, and my eye starts watering. She's like, okay, push it. And so you're sitting there, holding the towel thing, and you're pushing the one nostril. We're only doing one at a time. Right? First one. It was the right one. So she does the right one first. So I'm holding it, and she's sitting there talking to me. I mean, she's standing right in front of you at like, she's 18 inches away from your face. You know, so like when you're there in your, everybody's a personal space. Like you're right there, just chatting it up as you're holding this cloth with something, a stick shoved out of your nose, and they're just talking to you like normal. So she's like, okay. She goes, it's not that bad. She goes, it doesn't, you know, it's quick. I go, so it only hurts fast. And she's like, yeah, it only hurts fast. And I was like,
only
okay.
Hurts fast. Rip
So
the
she puts
Band-Aid.
her hand, because she's like,
She's got to hold your forehead down.
Because at the beginning when she walks in, she's like, oh, you're getting your nose waxed. And I'm like, yeah, because I can't have more nose hair than I have head hair. And she just starts laughing because I'm taking my hat off and sitting on the counter.
I was going to say, she's probably made you take your hat off.
Yeah, and so I have everything sitting over there, phone and all that stuff. And so we pulled this. So now we've gone through the whole, it's cooled down, whatever it's set up or whatever it's doing.
Right.
So she grabs my forehead. I'm sitting, not laying down. I'm sitting.
Oh, okay.
And her hand, all of a sudden she just puts her hand on my forehead and she grabs a hold of that stick and she rips it and my head goes and she misses it. Her hand slides off the stick.
So you got a hat full. You got a hat.
And she just, but she just hurry up and grabs it and yanks it again. And wow! And I'm just like, oh my God. She's like, oh dude. Oh, it was a lot. I felt like it pulled some of my brain.
No more.
And she's like, yeah, look at this. Yeah, and dude, that thing, those, I'm telling you, look like seeds, bro.
Furry popsicle.
Those two. Oh, yeah. It looked like it had like seeds on it.
Oh, yeah.
Like the roots in that thing.
Yeah.
I was like, and apparently it was a tough one because she didn't get it the first pull. And I was like, dear Lord. I'm like, you missed it on that first one. I had to point that out to her. She goes, yeah, I know, sorry.
Not only are you strong, but your hair is strong too.
Apparently, dude.
You got hair muscle.
So, yeah. So then she does the other one. Same thing. Mustache, boom. Stuffs
Did
it
she
up
chalk up this time so she didn't slip off?
You can tell she gets ready this time. And she grabs it, and I felt her hand slipping, like, off the stick on this one, too. And then she, like, but she gets it, like, wham, and it comes out. I was just like, oh, my eyes watered, though, worse when she shoved it in there, the wax in there, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, all right. And I'm just like, oh, she's like, here, and she hands me a little, it's a wax strip thing, but she's like, here, just kind of wipe your nose, you know, whatever. And I go like this, and I wipe the white, and there's blood. And I'm just like, oh, from the right one, that right one, the one she missed, that one must have been hardy.
Yeah.
On my right nostril.
Yeah,
so
you got to make sure you use the right.
She's like, yeah, it'll bleed a little bit. It'll bleed a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I see that. Yep. Yeah, I believe you. So she goes, go look in the mirror and make sure we got what you wanted to look at. You know, make sure you got, there's nothing left or whatever.
If not, we'll go back in.
Oh, yeah. So I went and I can see some in this left one up in this top piece. Like if I push my nose open.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can see some right there. She's like, well, let's get some more in there. And then she dubs it up, and wham, shoves it up, and I'm like, And then she's like, we do it, and she talks, and we do her thing, and then she's like, wham, yanks it out, and looks at it, and I was like, oh, and she's like, you want to do the other side? I'm like, nope, it ain't worth it. Because the hot wax going through there, we got like 4 hairs out of it on the second round. So I was like, I'm good. I go, this one will be fine. I can't see nothing in there. But I'll tell you what, you can breathe a lot better. She says they only go up so far because they leave the small
your sinuses
hairs.
In there.
You have to have your eyeball so they don't rip your eyeball out through your nose. But
she yanks it out. You're like, those are my tonsils. What happened?
Yeah, I'm like, what? My hat is off to the women that get Brazilians,
dude.
Like
40-year-old virgin.
Good on you, dude. That's chest. I've done my chest.
That's
like,
you know, I've watched that movie, and I don't think I will ever do my chest because of that movie. No.
Yeah, I did my whole chest before we went to St. Lucia. So different wax, first of all, because then I told her about you. I go, yeah, my brother. I was hitting him up today before I came. She's like, oh yeah. I go, he's done it. I go, the first time he did it himself, and she's like, oh yeah. And I go, but he used bikini wax, and she's like, oh no. She goes, yeah, you don't want to do that. And I go, yeah, he found that out the hard way.
I used it several times.
So she showed me. She goes, yeah, look at this. She just did a little spot on my hand right here.
Yeah.
She just did this part of my hand. She goes,
it looks like honey. Right.
She goes, this is what you do here. And then she put that little towel in there, and she just kind of rubs it. She goes, you got to go away against the hair.
The grain.
Like,
right.
Ripped it off, and all the hair's gone. I was like, whoa. And she's all, but see how this wax, she goes, it never sets up. It stays tacky because then there was like a little piece, and so she just puts it on there and kind of and tears the hair off.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't want that in your nose. That other stuff they do in your nose, it's basically like a wax plug is what it ends up being like when they yank it out. But I had my chest. She asked me if I'd done it. I go, my chest. She's like, really? And I go, yeah, it was the worst thing ever. And I go, and then she put like a big ice like pad on it.
Yeah.
You know. But it was fine. Like, I mean, it over time, I mean, your skin is on fire by the time they do it. I mean, you're talking a little section, and they got to do it 30 times.
Dude, it would take hours to do my chest.
No, because you think that, but they'll get it in one swoop. Ooh, so it's like
I know, but I'd have to have a 10-minute break in between each swipe. That's a lot.
Dude. Yours is way hairier than mine. It would be like the little Chinese lady just loving it, being all excited. Oh yeah, it's definitely that way. So she did it to my hand, and it was just like, but like for a bikini wax. But she says the first is like the worst, like Brazilian. Mm-hmm. But as the follicle, as it grows back, it's thinner. The hair is like, the follicle is lesser, the hair is thinner, it doesn't grow as many.
You used to talk about.
Yeah, doesn't grow as much.
Well, yeah, but you gotta
I don't know, dude.
Those nose hairs have rooted in your brain. I mean, your nose for 42 years, right? So they're in there.
Out.
Right.
Dude, you could see them. I'm not joking.
I know.
I'll show you like this. They were this big.
Yeah, little white spermy looking things.
Oh yeah, dude. It was insane. Oh man. And then she's like, "How's that?" I go, "I think it hurt my neck." when she yanked it, dude, I jerked my head, bro. I wish I could have recorded it with holding that thing.
You should have just set it up, dude.
Well, she's like, I don't want to have the wax get in your beard and it'll pull your beard hair, because she got a little spot right there, but you can't really tell. But,
Yeah. But that wax that I used,
because I wanted to see my head, because it was gnarly.
Yeah. So that wax that I used, I didn't use a stick. Like, I gooped it up so that it hung out, so that I had some of it to grab onto. But if you pulled it out and tapped it on the table, it sounds like a rock. Like,
but that's probably the real stuff. That's the stuff you needed to use.
That's what I was using. It was in a little container. You put it in water. You put it in the microwave. So that.
But I thought you said you had used the wax before.
It said that's what I used. It said bikini on it.
Oh yeah, no, it's different.
Well, this stuff that I used was just stuff that we had at the house. You put it in a bowl of water, microwave it for like a minute. It got liquefied. You put it up in there. You let it get hard, and it looks like you know how sap will turn crystallized. That's what this did, was crystallized. And when I yanked it out, I mean, it was stuck to skin. It was stuck to a lot of it. Maybe I used too much. Maybe whatever it was. But I remember pulling, it had patches of skin with the hair.
So there was no skin came out. But it was definitely. But it was like this blue, and if you were to take and you would still get some sponge on it, some squeeze.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. Mine didn't have any squeeze.
No, if it's going hard, it's probably like you said, it's taking a layer of skin with it.
But I figured if you
I think the bleeding was only from the roots getting yanked out of there.
For you.
Yeah, that's what the bleeding was. There was no skin on it.
Yeah. But I figured if I have scar tissue in there, hair doesn't grow through scar tissue, so let's just scar that stuff up so we don't get no hair coming back.
That's true. I mean,
Cauterize it. Let's just cauterize our nose and we'll just go for it.
I thought about having her wax my head, but after the nose thing, I'm like negative.
But waxing's got to be a little bit better than your laser removal, don't you think?
Well,
because you said it was like a baseball bat when you did laser removal.
Dude, it was definitely hurt for sure. But I don't know. I don't think either one, dude. I think that kind of stuff. It's just
we got a video there.
There's a lot of hair. Even when we don't have it, we don't have it on top. But the top would be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But you coming on a wax on the back of your head and they go against it. Yeah. Remember when Mom used to grab your hair and lift up backwards on it? When you used to have your little
ponytail thing or whatever it was called.
Fag wag.
Tail. Whoa.
Yeah. I think that's what they called it back then. I'm sorry.
That's what they did call it back then.
Yeah, I'm just saying what it used to be.
Rat tail. They used to call it a rat tail also.
I don't know what it was, But,
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, snag a hold of that thing
and lift up. Your head and lift it up. Duck, you had that little duck tail.
Yeah, so imagine if they put wax on there. Because you got to commit. Once you do it once, you got to get the whole thing's got to be done. You can't just stop like old 4-year-old virgin, dude. Just have this reverse mohawk up the back of your head.
Like, I'm done. I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
We already have the strips on there. We got to take them off. Nope. I'm going to go sit in the sauna and let them melt off.
It'll wear off in the shower. So that was my nose waxing story. But
man. Well, we're out of time, bro.
That's it, huh?
It is.
You had something else.
I have a ton of stuff, but
well, let's hear what you're gonna. We'll pick one topic, which was
nothing really ran into what we were talking about, dude.
Well, we're gonna run into it right now.
We're gonna run into it right now. I mean,
you said something.
I was thinking today. When we were talking about watching Christmas Vacation, and, Christmas movies and stuff like that. I remember watching stuff on VHS, and one of the podcasts I listened to, they did back in when Scrooge, you remember Scrooge with Bill Murray?
Oh yeah.
And one of the gifts in the movie was a VCR. He gave his brother a VCR.
Yeah.
Dude, they were in 1988. If you got a VCR in today's money, would be $3,000 for a VCR. And VCRs, I was just like, holy, that was
so they don't make them. Listen, for young kids, I'll tell you too. This is no joke. A VCR is if you remember what a cassette tape was. And
Dude, if they don't know what a VCR is, they don't know what a cassette tape is.
So a VCR is it's probably it's 8 inches wide, I would say, by like 4 inches tall, and it's about a inch thick,
inch and a quarter,
thick. And it has
and it had
2 wheels inside of it, and it has actual film, like that you see in like old projectors, like film that's like 3/4 inch around, 3/4 inch flat film, and it would run it when you would put it in the machine and close it. It would turn those wheels, and it would feed that
digitally
to your
TV.
that film across, and it would make a picture through the VCR, which it would feed it through like coax.
Man, dude, you just made it sound so much dinosaur, more dinosaur than
audio video. You're running through audio video cables, red, white, and yellow. So because, dude, this is the way I'm saying this. So I watched this show, the documentary. You ever seen Bye Bye Sanders? You seen that on Prime?
Oh, I've seen the previews for it, but yeah.
It's talking about
Barry Sanders. Right.
Dude, phenomenal documentary.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It talks about why, like, because nobody understood why he just quit. I mean, he didn't quit. He just retired at like 31.
Yeah.
He was breaking every record there was. But anyway, so at the end, he's talking to his kids because he's got like 4 or 5 sons that he has. And so they're sitting there talking about it, and they're asking him, like, why'd you do it, and this, that, and the other, and he kind of explains to them why. So,
because the NFL's rigged. Oh, sorry.
Spoiler is that he retired by sending a fax to the NFL. A fax. And they're like, all of his buddies, like all the guys he played football with, the linemen and everything, they're like, that's Barry. Like, doesn't want to do a publicity. They had nothing to do. All he wanted to do was go and play football.
Right.
He didn't even want to win the Heisman Trophy. He was in Tokyo playing football. It was like 3 a.m, and he won the Heisman Trophy. It was like, cool, thanks.
No shit.
Yeah, didn't want it at all. Didn't he? Dude, he won MVP one year and left it in his buddy's car. And his buddy's like, first he left it in the locker room, and one of the linemen picked it up, put it in his car, and had it in his car for like a week. Kept telling him, hey, Sanders, I got the MVP trophy. And he's like, oh, I'll get it from you later. So he's like, all right, so he came over to his house, and he's like, gives him the trophy. They hang out, do whatever he does. He sets the trophy on the counter and leaves it. The guy's like, my wife and I had it for months. The shoes that he broke the record in, like the most rushing record when he beat like Walter Payton or whoever it was that he beat. He took his cleats and stuff off and had them on the ground and was like just carrying on doing it. And one of the linemen grabbed it and was like, hey, will you sign this? Can I have these? And he's like, what? Yeah. He goes, these are the shoes you broke the record in. He's like, sign them for me. So he signs them and just gave it to him. And was like,
what does this have to do with VHS?
So he sent this. Sorry, I got on a rant. So he retires.
Squirrel.
He retires. Yeah, what? Butterfly.
Right, he retires by sending a fax. He's like, I quit.
Send a fax, and the kid goes, his son goes, wait, a fax? Is that one where you like put the paper in and it sends the paper to the other people? And they're like, no, well, sort of. They're like, yeah, you send it in and it makes a copy.
And prints it out on the other side.
He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, probably a 20-year-old kid.
Oh my god.
And he's like, and he was just like, wait, is that the fax that like, and and he thinks the paper. So at least he knew that. But like, so VHS, I'll bet there's 20, 18, 19-year-olds that don't know what a VCR is.
Dude, do you think he'd hand Alexa like a rotary phone and be like, make a phone call?
No, but should I bring her in here and ask her what a VCR is?
You can. But anyway, the reason I was on the VCR situation because the cost of it was outrageous.
That's insane.
By the time we got to them, it was kind of like you can go get them at Kmart for $20. They were just.
I remember Dad had a VCR rewinder.
Well, he had a VCR rewinder, and we also had I think we had a double VCR VHS. That they were the same thing, but he had the VHS that you could put the VHS in one side and put a blank one. They used to sell blanks. It's kind of like a flash drive now, but it's a blank VCR. You could record it, you could copy it, and then And then at the
Just
end of every,
illegal as hell.
only for
Just bootlegging VHS.
only if you're selling them.
Dude. Well, shit, they're $3,000 a unit, dude. I'm selling some VHS.
Could you imagine what it would cost to get
open up the van door? They're like, "What is this?" You're like, "These are VHS."
They're all handwritten
It's
on
all
there.
stacked.
Mighty Ducks.
Do you remember how many we had?
We had a
Do you
ton.
remember? They were
Because
all
you'd
like
rent them.
white and the
them.
green.
Yeah.
Orange. And they're written. So I remember, what was the one, Total Recall, that Dad ran the magnet over? Do you remember that one?
No,
Were you
I
still
don't
around when
remember.
that came out? Dude, Total Recall came out with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And it had the 3-titty chick. Dude,
Yeah.
I wanked off that thing so many times.
Oh my gosh.
And so-
TMI, dude. TMI.
No, don't play like you didn't know. So there were certain parts on there, like at the beginning, because it had Sharon Stone
Yes.
when she was all hot with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They were married or
Right.
supposedly or however that. Dude,
Yeah.
so
Watch
he
Total
ran
Recall.
to it,
OG.
stopped it, and ran a magnet over
And it would ruin
so
the
you
freaking.
would watch it,
yeah.
and all of a sudden you go, and it'd be all messed up, and you couldn't see nothing. Then it'd come back on.
Yeah, that's how he edited your rated R movies. But the one I remember was Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, where she comes out of the lake.
He pulled it out, cut it, like actually cut the piece out, and I think taped it back together. Like he, I don't know if it's a special tape or if it's Scotch tape. I'm not even sure.
I imagine you probably Scotch tape that bad boy.
But it was seriously pull it out, cut the little scene out, and then put it back together. And that's how editing.
Because you used to wank off to that one. I did Total Recall 3 titties, and you did Doc Holliday.
Doc Hollywood.
Whatever.
But that's how Dad used to edit our movies. So it was like it wasn't a bad movie. There was just a few parts in it that were like, okay, that's the ticket over. Yeah, moderate. You can only see 3 titties so many times. But yeah, I remember Dad pulling the tape out.
Man, if I had 3 hands.
I remember sitting in the living room watching. It was when I was dating my first wife. We were watching Speed. Dad was out of town and Mom was there, but she was in the kitchen doing whatever. And here we are, Robin was sitting there and we were watching Speed. I don't know, I can't remember if you were there or not. We were watching Speed, and I think Mom heard something from the kitchen or whatever, and she's like, "What are you guys watching?" We're like, "We're watching Speed." She's like, "What rating is it?" And I'm like, "R," and it was shut down. Down.
Man.
And then, like when I was 16, 17 years old, I used to go to Albertsons, and they had a movie rental in there, and I would rent movies, and they wouldn't ask your age. I know it's weird. I don't know how all that worked. If you're supposed to ask age, like buying cigarettes, if they're like, "Oh, let me see some ID." But we'd rent movies and go over to friends' houses and watch them. Well, then Mom and Dad got a list of what movies had been rented in like the last month or whatever, and it was like rated R, rated R, rated R.
Because it was on their account?
It was on their account, yeah.
It's on their account, but you just paid for it.
I'd just be like, I put in the phone number, and then just pay for it and bring it back.
So how'd that go? Or
that went bad.
That's because you were a rebel child. I mean, that's why you were always getting in trouble.
Rebel child.
God.
Jeez.
Maybe because you got caught.
Got caught. Yeah. So apparently they got a printout. I don't know if we were like hadn't brought a movie back yet or something like that, and they went to rent a movie. Because I remember at the time,
went to rent one and one was out already.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, you need to bring back, Total Recall." It's like, what?
God.
We didn't rent Total Recall.
You need to bring back Fatal Attraction. Like, what?
Yeah, so I got busted for renting rated R movies at Albertsons.
But the thing of it was because you probably every single movie was rated R. It was just all R-rated movies. That's
most
not
likely.
moderation.
I don't remember.
Basic
Moderation.
Basic Instinct ordered like 17 times.
Never rented that.
You know what part I'm talking about in that movie? It was like, it's a huge known thing. Where Sharon Stone uncrosses her legs and then crosses them back up during the interview.
Oh, Basic Instinct. Sorry, I was thinking Fatal Attraction. No, I've actually never.
Fatal Attraction, dude. Fatal Attraction. I think we watched at Uncle Bill's house when I was like 10.
Yeah. Yes.
It was on. I remember being
100%.
on, and they boiled a
100%.
rabbit. And
They
I was
boiled the
like,
rabbit. That's the
"What
only part of
movie
the whole
is
thing I
this?"
can remember.
Yeah,
Is
dude.
the rabbit
She
situation.
boiled a rabbit.
Yeah. Fatal Attraction, or what'd you say?
No,
Basic Instinct. I've never
Sharon
seen that
Stone.
movie.
I've never seen it either. I just know that.
I know that
of
part.
it.
Right.
Yeah, that was like some huge thing.
So anyway,
Like, actually showed
that
it.
was some of my notes that I thought about in the 2 weeks that we've been, I was like driving around. I was like, man, VHS. Like, do you remember you used to have a closet, or we had a closet when I was married with my kids. Like, it had like Disney, it had every movie we had. It would take up an entire closet because the VHSs are so big. Their
Dude,
cases are so big.
It's like how computers have ended up. First computers took up a whole room.
Right.
And then they've just downsized. Now
Right.
you don't even have them. I have a DVD player in my toy hauler.
I have a DVD
it.
player in one of my little cabinets somewhere, and I have DVDs because on Black Friday I used to buy a bunch of DVDs because they were what, $2, $3, $5.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, yeah.
I have DVDs, but that's
Oh, yeah.
I don't have it. Actually, my PlayStation.
Yeah,
is,
PlayStation.
But if
That's
I
the
turned it
only-
on, I think it would probably have to update for like 4 days before it would work. Because, dude, my PlayStation's been sitting there for like 2 years without even being started up.
Right.
So I have the one in the trailer, and like, so if Alexa gets like for like one for like when she does a musical, they'll give her a CD that has like the music that she needs to learn or whatever. And so I got to go out to the toy hauler, get the DVD player, bring it in here. And because they give it to her on a disc, I'm like, can't they give you like a thumb drive? I'm all asking for a thumb
Can I
drive.
download this on my phone?
Gosh dang, dude. Yeah, get a thumb
Well, do you remember the
drive.
stereo system that Dad had? I mean, it had cassette, and then when he did get the DVD player, it was like a 6 DVD changer type situation, and we had like it was a whole. I mean, so much room. Look at how much room all that stuff used to take up. You used to have your entertainment center because you had a big box TV, VHS.
Well, you had to have an entertainment center that big to hold an 82-pound TV.
Dude, the 82-town TV was only 32 inches.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing was huge.
Like, dude, the flat screen, 32-inch flat screen, had a back on it that was 39, but it only had 32 inches on the screen.
Yeah.
And it weighed 88 pounds.
And
so you had to have a huge entertainment center because if you went a bigger TV, you had to have it hold it. The way you had to hold it. You had to anchor the thing into the wall because if that fell over, it was going to kill somebody.
Yeah, those very first freaking flat screen TVs, the projection TVs that stood on the ground. People can't even give them away. I mean, there's people still on like
I can't
Bookface Marketplace. They're like free, and it's like nope.
I'm pretty sure it's got cancer in it.
I think the only thing they get used for now is you load them up in the truck, you take them out in the poverty flats and shoot them.
Shoot the cancer out of them. Jeez.
Oh my gosh!
Those things are definitely putting out cancer vibes. When you fire it up, it's all. Yeah, and all of a sudden your eye starts twitching. Microwave won't work. Piss yourself. Forget your name for a half an hour. There's something wrong with that.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah. All of a sudden your earrings and stuff, the feeling in your teeth, you got metal ones start heating up when you're watching a movie. There's something wrong about that.
Dude.
That was good.
That stuff is old.
What's up? That is old, man. We got, it's the 3rd, so we're looking, we got a couple of weeks before Christmas, so we'll hit it up. And we'll have to kind of plan it out, because I think Christmas is on, like a Monday?
Yeah.
So, we're going to hit that. We're going to hit it up. We should be able to hit it up all week long, I think, right?
Hit what?
Or all month, I should say. Our podcast. We aren't going to skip, because Christmas is on a Monday.
Yeah.
So Christmas Eve, we should be able to hit Christmas Eve.
Yeah, or at least
That's
the
Sunday.
Saturday before.
That's Sunday. Yeah, we'll have to get them. Because we don't want to skip, because, dude, I got hammered out by quite a few people. More than I thought, which is cool. Hey, thanks for the emails and stuff. Like, people are like... So, Spotify put out your top rating. I don't know if you saw that. Do you have Spotify?
Yeah.
So, it puts out a deal and tells you, like, what your top rank listening stuff. So, dude, I got which was cool, and thank you so much for our listeners. Just a big shout out to you guys. Like, this is a blast to do. So But they were sending me, and someone put them on their social media, like on their Instagram stuff and their book face. It said like their top ones, and one of them was "Flapping Your Gums" was their top listener.
Oh yeah, they
Like
sent out that little
span.
memory thing. Yeah, I did get that on Spotify. Yeah.
So one of them was top, one of them was second. Like,
Oh, that's awesome.
There was a few people that sent them to us that had them in their top 5 rankings. So I was like, oh, that's rad, dude.
Way sweet.
Yeah, so that's super. I was like, that's cool. Thank you for letting me know. But also on the other end,
You missed a week. We got freaking
some emails that were like, whoa, hey, what's going on? It's like some of them were just like, hey, question mark, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. And I was like,
I waited all week for this and it didn't show up.
Yeah. So it was the holiday. It was tough with Thanksgiving and Vinny going and scalping tickets and going to the Kansas City game. So
yeah, that turned into a weekend that I didn't think was going to be as full as it was.
And it happened. So I miss holiday. So that's what we're gonna really for you guys make sure we push for Christmas and stuff. And then I'm still trying to get that mixer. So hopefully that kind of pans out this. For the listeners and stuff.
I think you should
for the
email
listeners,
or
just
text.
email me and just tell me you're going to send me one for Christmas, and I'll give you my address. So I'm still looking on that route.
Dude, I think you should just have the person that was like, hey, I missed this week. I think you should be like, hey, you want to be on next week? Just ask them if they want to be on next week. We'll put them
bring
on.
a mixer with you.
No, just send them a freaking link. We'll do it just like this.
Yeah, I got it. I'm getting some stuff in the works right now. I've been talking to some for. I want to try to do for the new year.
My biggest issue is I've always tried, like when I listen to other podcasts. I mean, I listen to a bunch all week long because all I do is drive around and get paid. But it's one of those things where it's like, how do you ask somebody that? I mean, I'm not talking like A-lister or anything like that, but I mean, like I hear people and I know, like Thurl Bailey. I mean, his wife is from Ridgefield. You know, he was a professional basketball player. I sent him a message on Messenger. I'm like, hey, this is, like, I live here in Ridgefield. My brother's a firefighter in Fallon. Like, we'd love to have you on the podcast. It doesn't have to be for an hour or anything like that. Send him a link in Messenger or a message on Messenger. But then, like, you don't get anything back. Like, I don't know where the I don't know what you call it. Like, do you do it on Messenger? You do it, like, is there some way to reach people? If anybody out there knows, please email us and be like, yeah, go to this website and you can send out, messages to people just to see if you can get them on your podcast. So,
or going to, if you're messaging him, go on there and look and see. He might have an email. Link in his bio. Looking, on Instagram.
I'm too dumb for that crap, but that's a good idea. I'll check it.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah.
So a lot of them they'll put like an email, and you might get an answer back on email. But
good thing.
I mean, yeah,
good thinking.
But
good thinking, Sean. Good thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I like it. Sometimes I do that. Not very often, so don't get used to it.
This is one of our longest podcasts.
But yeah, so I think the new year will hit off. And we might do. Are you off, Chris? No, you're not off. They make you work all month this month.
Dude, I might be working Saturday before Christmas.
Boof.
I know.
Well, then that would suck because that would be bad for us doing a podcast. So,
we'll see.
Anyways, anyhow, but I think if we get like if it doesn't work out and somebody doesn't send me a mixer for Christmas. Just
like saying, your wife might get you one for Christmas. They'll have to have one of these listeners.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just looking for some support here from our listeners. Because whoever gets me one, they're on. Guest.
They're guests right now.
I'm bringing them on. They're guests. It's going to be rad. I'll have a soda and stuff like that. Maybe a flower, a bottle of wine. I don't know.
Mr. Pibb.
I mean, you got Vinny. Because we got people that come in and be like, how does he drink 6 different drinks at the same time and it doesn't bother him? Well, he's a professional. So
I don't know about that.
We've just gone through 3 different ones. Pacifico. I don't know what the little skinny one was.
Yes, you do.
I do. Well, I didn't get to see it. Now I know. Arnold Palmer. You had it turned the other way, so I didn't see what it made out. And now a Cutwater. So he's probably buzzing right now, and we got to cut her short.
This is when the podcast gets good.
That's what I'm saying. You got to do that prior to. Like, we got to get you halftime, half primed, and then we get you going. No, I'm just playing. So if it works out, then we'll start. I'll have a guest on that after probably the New Year is what I'm trying to look for, or like Christmas week would be cool. But it's just got to play it out. But we'll start bringing people on because I got a couple lined up. I think that will work out pretty cool. That I think will fit well into this. And also this new kid that's just in town, he's a little Asian kid, and that's where we could talk about the VCR stuff, VHS. He's like 19 because he's like 19.
Okay.
He's young.
Okay, he's young.
Because he's Asian. Not because he's Asian. That's the part might get us because he's Asian's super smart, so he might have us on that.
His
one
grandpa
just 'cause
might
he's
have
so smart.
made him.
Yeah, dude, this kid, he's a Olympic lifter.
Dude,
So
Olympic
it's just-
lifters are amazing, and then
Yeah.
most of the videos you see on YouTube for Olympic lifters, like,
They're Asian?
not to be like that, but I mean it's hard, but like those guys are just animals. I mean they are
Yeah, so-
phenomenal at it.
So he's got gray hair, longer
He's 19
hair,
with
and
gray hair.
He pulls it up, great. He's got great hair.
Oh, great hair.
Yeah, and so it's funny because the other day I was like, one of the girls came into our gym and she had her hair like pulled up and it was like this like fluffy little thing. It was like something you'd see on like Mad Max or something. I was like, whoa, look at your hair. I'm looking at it and she's all, blah, blah, blah. I was like, did you get that from Nick? The young kid's name's Nick.
Right.
So he pulls it back in this one and then pulls one in this one when he's lifting. So it's like all of his hair's out of the way. And I said, "Did you get that move from Nick?" And he's like, "What? Did you say Nick?" And I was like, "Yeah, look at her hair." And he's laughing. He goes, "Yeah, I need to cut this off." I'm like, "Why, bro? You're like, you got a gray head of hair." He goes, "Yeah,
Dude.
except I got big quads and a big butt, so I look like a fit Asian chick from behind."
Dude, that
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'd probably cut it too because I wouldn't want to look." And I said that would be happening to me. And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure. They would never think you were an Asian chick from behind because he's like, 5 foot tall." But dude, he was in there ripping out. And Sweeney goes, "Yeah." He goes, "My max is 375 on a front squat." And so he worked up and hit 376 on his front squat.
oh
And
my,
was like, and then, you know how much he weighs?
like 130.
165 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. And he gets all the way. He does. So, how we were talking about you do a split jerk,
Yes.
but it's called it's a squat jerk. So you catch the weight, reset, and as you kick up, you squat into it. As you're pressing under, you go right into a squat, like an overhead squat,
Okay.
like that.
So it's almost like a
Which you-
snatch,
You
warm
do a
up.
clean.
Okay.
No, you do a clean, and then instead of doing a split jerk, you do a squat jerk. So you do the same thing, drive up, but you have to then, your feet are stationed, you squat
Right.
underneath it and stand back up. And he's over there doing like 245, 255.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, but I've been talking to him because his dad is from Thailand and his mom is Filipino. And so he's here training, getting ready for nationals. I think he made nationals in lifting. And so that's who I'm trying to work with to getting him on before he leaves.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty cool story.
Just don't send him any of my videos. He'll be like, "Oh, he's doing everything wrong."
Oh yeah,
So-
dude, he
so
loves
many things.
He loves coming working out because he's like, dude, I love the hype. I love just getting hyped up.
Yeah.
So it's fun. He's pretty cool. He's a good kid. All right,
man.
let's do it. But that's who we're looking for. We're gonna plan
All
some
right.
stuff.
Well,
Raise some
we got
ethnicity
next
and-
week. I got a
and
couple
bunch
more
of
bucks
crackers.
left. I got a
Can't have
couple
just a bunch
bucks
of
left on
crackers
that.
on here to mix
Crackers.
it up. Yeah, we gotta bring some ethnicity in here. Get some color on this joint.
What's Chuck
Yeah, you
doing?
gotta-
Let's call Chuck.
You got.
Let's
I
call
don't know.
Chuck.
He's in Texas.
I know.
Get it? Yeah. I got a couple lined up.
Let's hook up Chuck.
Yeah, you got some money left over. Let's get it. Well, let's
I
get
got
something.
some-
No,
I got
you don't
a few
have
bucks
any
left.
tickets left.
We got
yeah.
nothing left.
Tasha's still live. I got to check.
Oh
on her.
my
Hers
gosh.
is still going. You don't even want to
All
know
right.
about mine.
Let's call
All
Chaps. Get Chaps on here too.
Chaps, dude, that'd be bad. I'd love that.
Dude, I love
All right.
Chat.
I know. I'll get with him. I can get him on here. I can get both them guys on here. Not at the same time because nobody'd understand anything, and they'd be going all about stuff. It'd be chaos, dude.
It'd be fun.
It would be fun. It'd be
It
wild.
would be fun.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Love you, man.
Peace.
All right. Peace.